How to start with project management. My name is Guilherme and I help professionals to become successful project managers. The content I'm creating today is part of the warm-up for the project management journey. And the project management journey, it's a week event that I'm going to make 4 sessions talking about how to further develop your career in project management. It's free, so if you're interested in that, you go in the description of this video here, click in the link there and subscribe. Again, it's free. I'm going to talk about 4 sessions where I'm going to talk about how to prepare your CV, how to prepare for interviews. I'm going to talk about frameworks, waterfall, agile, finance for project managers, project management practices, and much more. So make sure you don't miss it. The content will be available for only 1 week. So subscribe, join the WhatsApp group so we don't miss anything. So the topic today is how to start with project management. This is very likely the question that I get more often in all my social media and in all the groups and so on. And usually people have some already vision that what they need to start with project management, and that's how I want to start. So today I'm also going to open my LinkedIn so you can see job positions right there. And we are going to discuss those job requirements. So make sure that you stay to the end and you don't miss it. So a lot of people think that they need a certification, they need a master in project management, and some people even think they need a lot of experience to start with project management. Here is the thing. To start with project management, you don't need to have a certification. You don't need to have experience with project management. You don't need to have a master in project management. What you need is, of course, start to take steps into this direction. Why? Because you need to break the inertia there. It's very important that you start to take the first steps there. And what are those steps? Like, if you have no knowledge at all in project management, well, I do recommend you that you do 2 things in parallel. First, you start to learn project management, you start to study, because that's important. But second, and even more important, you need to start to look and apply for positions in project management. And of course, I'm talking about positions in project management. I'm not telling you to apply for a senior project manager position. If you have no knowledge and no experience in project management, how you do it? You go there and you apply for entry-level project management positions. That can be project coordinator, project management junior, project associated, project management officer, and much more, project assistant, and much more, more that's out there. And usually for those positions, there is no such type of requirement as certification, master in project management, or anything else. And I'm going to show you that still in this live today, so stay there. And why people think that, oh, I need to have experience, I need to have qualification. Because honestly, there's a lot of people out there, they are selling trainings. They are selling trainings for certification, they are selling certification, they are selling the masters itself. And again, I'm not against those things because I also have certifications. I also have an MBA, not in project management, I have an MBA in general business. But this is what is important there. Of course, if you say, I'm going to do a master in project management, it's good. I'm not saying that's bad, you should not do it. But what I'm telling you is that you should really think what's your strategy here. Because I've talked with a lot of people, and there's a bunch of people there that talk with me that they have a master in project management, and they cannot find a job. Because they do not know how to create a CV, they do not know how to use their previous experience there, they do not know how to prepare for interviews. So if you just I'm going to do a master in project management, but you also do not know how the career part there also does not happen, does not help. And if you do a master, then you do not know the career part, and you say, now I'm going to go for certifications because that's what's going to save me. And then people start to go to certifications. I want to do the PSM, Professional Scrum Master, which is a great certification. I have myself. But if your goal is to work in the construction industry, have a PSM, that might not be your first certification there. That might not be your first step that's going to help you to get a job. And I see also the other way around. People say, I'm going for PMP. Yeah, but you don't have project management experience. The requirement to go for PMP is to have 3 years of project management experience. And if you cannot meet this requirement, you cannot even take the exam, even if you want that. And then people start to wandering around all those kinds of certifications, PSM, PMP, CAPM from PMI, Prince 2. Like, and again, I'm not against certification, but that's not starting point. That's not your focus. This certification might be part of your journey, but the certification is not your final destination. It's like if you're traveling to Greece to take a holiday, and you just say, and then you get to the airport and say, now I'm happy I'm in the airport. Yeah, but that's part of it. The airport is a certification in this case. That's something that will help you to get somewhere. But if you do not have the tickets to fly to get there, yeah, just the airport does not help you. The airport does not help you to travel more just because it's there. You need to do something with that. The airport is part of the journey. It's the same thing as a certification. So instead of creating roadblocks why you cannot start right now, because I talk with people, they say, no, I need to gain more experience. No, I need to learn more. I'm going to do an extra training. I'm going to do an extra certification. I don't think I'm prepared. Just go and start. Apply for a junior position and start. First, yeah, junior position, it's a great place to learn. And you're going to have possibilities. And then, if you're studying project management and if you want to do a project management training, you are going to take much more of that. Why? Because you study and you can apply the knowledge in practice. Remember, knowledge is only power if it's applied. Then it does not matter that you do 200 hours of training, that you read all the books, but if you do not have any practical experience, that will not help you to get to your destination. And here I'm talking about your destination, but getting a job is just your first step in that journey. Why? Because what you want, well, you want to be a successful project manager. And what's a successful project manager? Well, it's someone that can deliver the results, and can deliver positive impact in the company, can add value in the company. Is someone that's going to be recognized in the team as a high performer. That's someone also that will have usually good appraisals. Then you have chance to get a promotion. You have chance to maybe to move to better positions in the same company or different companies or might even different industries. That's what I see to be a successful project manager. You can even pursue an international career. So getting a job with project management will not be the end. Of course, you need to keep developing yourself. That's why I call the project management journey. But the first step, it's make sure that you can break into your career. And the same thing as if you are trying to move a heavy object, the first step will take more time and more of your energy. But after you break in and you get a project management position, it gets easier to keep the movement. That means it gets easier to sustain and keep growing. So again, you don't need to have their certification or a master. But if you decide to take a master there, make sure that your master also will cover your career part, that you are going to learn how to prepare your CV, that you are going to have the chance to learn how to prepare for interviews. And maybe if it's possible, also to have the chance how you get up to speed in a new company. And it's important also while you're selecting a master that you're going to look what they're going to teach in the master. Because if you do a master in project management that only talks about waterfall, it sounds kind of a waste, because that will not give you all the tools that you need. You need to know waterfall, you need to know agile. I tell you always that you need to learn lean, because lean is a great tool that will help you to sharpen your problem solving skills. Lean is also the philosophy foundation from agile, and lean will also give you a lot of different tools that can help you to add value in your organization. On top of that, you need to learn finance, because you need to manage business case, and you need to know how to organize your routine. You need to know how to manage your team. So if you're going for a master, make sure at least you're selecting a good one, because in most of the case a master will take you 1 year, 2 years. So it's a high commitment in time and money, and you need to make sure that you have a positive results there. But if you're not thinking about going for a master, you say, okay, now I know I don't need a certification. Now I know I don't need a master. As I mentioned, start study project management. You can look for a position on project management institute, a volunteer position that you start to gain experience. You start to gain something in practice. You can see project management in practice, but also you start to build a network where you are. That's quite important because a lot of the positions right there will be filled by referrals. What's a referral? It's someone that will know you. Ah, I know this person. I think he would be a good fit for the position, and then it helps you to get a job. So working your network is also important. And stop overthinking for God's sake about the certifications. The certification will be part of your journey, but it's not your first step. The first step is make sure that you can get in, because that's going to give you the real leverage in what you need to do there. And because I always say that, I want to make here, I'm going to talk about what I'm going to do now. I'm going to open LinkedIn, and we are going to search for positions there in the UK, and then we are going to start to look for the job requirements. Why I'm doing that? Because I've shared plenty of those positions also on my LinkedIn. I'm always sharing this, but I want to make sure that you do not hear only from me, because maybe you do not believe in me, and you don't need to believe in me. That's fine. You can also check by yourself. And what we are going to do now, we are going to check together. So let me open here my LinkedIn account. Let me see. Oops. Let me see if it's here. You go. Oops, too small. Let's make sure I can keep some image of myself there, so at least you can see who is talking there. Oh, let's start. What I did here: project management coordinator, London. Can do it again. Search. LinkedIn, normal. You see here my picture to make sure that it's also, you are sure that's my profile, that I'm not creating something new. I suggest you open your LinkedIn. Let's do the exercise together. I already pre-opened some positions here, just randomly. Let me see. Project coordinator. How you know what you need to apply for this position? Well, let's see the job description. About project coordinator, remote, 3 months, something about the salary. And it's just saying that look out for a project coordinator. And reading what's roles, responsibilities, you always have some roles, responsibilities, blah, 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 blah. Normal project management stuff. But you see here, there's no requirements at all. Yeah, might sound a strange position. I don't know. I do not know this company. I'm not making, or I'm not earning any money to show you that. But if you want, if you are starting right now, I would apply for this position. Why? Because it has no requirements at all. Meaning, does it mean that if you apply for the position, you get the job? I don't know. Maybe yes, maybe no. But if you do not apply, I'm 100% sure that you're not going to get the job. Let's look for another position here. Project coordinator, corporate space planning. I have no idea what's that. Also in the UK. Global pharmaceutical companies looking for a project coordinator, 6-month contract, key responsibilities. It's nice to read the key responsibilities because this is supposed to give you an idea what you're going to do in your day-to-day. And a lot of times it does not help to understand what you're going to do, because supporting planning activities can mean a lot of stuff. But what's the interesting part here? Requirements. Well, for this one, engineering graduate, then that means that if you're not an engineer there, applying for that does not make a lot of sense unless you have a referral because you know someone that's working in this company, with a focus in project management or related activities. Mainly, the door is completely open here. If you have an engineer degree, you can apply for this position. Strong interest in understanding, accuracy of planning, space optimization. What's that? Basically, you continue reading excellent project management skills, including planning. But you are going to see that in all type of positions. But what's important is that you note when you look for a position like that. First, there's no strong requirement. There's no hard requirement, meaning saying that you should have 10 years experience with project management, or you should have a master in project management, or you should have a PMP certification, or should have a PSM certification. So this is an entry-level position that anyone with an engineering degree should be able to apply it. And it's even easy to apply, which is beautiful because then with one click, of course, when you're applying for a position, it's important that you prepare your CV for that, that you make sure that you try to make your CV stand out in the crowd. And of course, it's not a requirement, but if you have a training, if you have some experience, that will help you. Maybe it's a volunteer, but also make sure that if you have work experience, make sure you leverage that for this type of position. Let me start to close this one. Let's take a look on the other position. Project coordinator. Blah 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 about the role. Yeah, you always have something about the role. There's always something about planning, controlling, collaborating. That's normal. That's project management day to day. Let's see the requirements. Being creative force and blah 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 blah. Yeah, there's basically no requirement because it's always very hard to know upfront and to prove that you are creative or not. Then it's a kind of soft skill that's different to see. Self-start and proactive, very important, but also very different to measure in an interview. You, of course, you can try to highlight some stuff in your CV to show that you have that one. Strong organization skills, blah blah blah. Clear thinking under pressure, ability to work collaboratively, overly communicating and connection. Then you see again, there's no requirement, no hard requirement, meaning there's no requirement for even a degree. You saw in the other position there was a requirement for an engineering degree. Some positions will require a degree in business. Some positions will require, a degree or I don't know, a master in any other area or a degree in any other area. This one, there's no requirements for a degree. There's no requirements for certification. There's no requirements for master. So again, start level position. Anyone can apply for that. Let me continue to do that because I am kind of enjoying it. Another position. Let's see. This one is for a project manager. That's another random position I opened. I did not check this up front, so let's see what's essential requirements. Project management experience with science research projects. And here you can see this as a kind of requirement, but also not, because you say what's experience. Maybe you have experience of 1 or 2 months and that would be enough. Same thing, EU founding experience. That's something that likely they are going to ask you, but probably it's not. That's not really a blocking point for you. Excellent communication, experience working large and complex organizations. So, if you have an experience working, doing some research, working on a type of organization, that means you can do that. Why not? You can apply for the position. Of course, you see here with the roles and responsibilities that help you to learn more about the position, but that's it. Let's go. Let's take a look on this. No, this is senior planning manager. Let's take a look on this one. Project coordinator. Let me open here. Project coordinator. This is in London. Corporate research, blah blah blah. The whole. Then we talk about responsibilities. You are going to see all the time supporting the. If you are working a project assistant, project coordinator, project associated, you're going to see a lot of these supporting the PM, organizing stuff, managing contracts. That's normal stuff. Skill profile. Some technical background, either in telecom or infrastructure. If you tell me what's some technical background, well, if you have an engineering degree, I think you can feel the technical background. Or if you do not have an engineer degree but you already working in a technical company, in a technical telecom company, that okay, you can fulfill that. Proven ability to solve problems. I just love when they put those jobs. How you can how you can get this from an interview? I'm always wondering. Of course, you can look for experience. You can look, but yeah, and this is very nice to say. Excellent analytical skills. Not so easy also to measure unless they really give you a problem to solve during the interview. They give you a case. Interpersonal skills, strong communication, strong collaboration, proactivity to play. Again, no hard requirements. So if you have an engineering degree in telecommunications, that's great for you because some of those here you should be able to check the box just because of the engineering degree, even though you don't have any experience. Then here's how you can start. Let's continue to work on legal project manager. That's an interesting one. Let's see what this is about. Legal project manager, join an international law firm. You see, again, I always talk about saying that project management is everywhere, meaning that engineering, business, construction, IT, law, and all types of industries. Here's the proof. Legal project manager. Then they talk about client, role responsibilities, candidate profile. That's what I'm looking for. Here you have a requirement. You should have at least 2 years experience as a legal project manager within a law firm environment. Then this is a hard requirement. You have a strong academic background, then that means you're a bachelor or your master. Recognized project management qualifications such as Prince 2 or will be valuable, meaning that it's good that if you have, but also if you don't have it, it's not going to be a blocking point if they like you. And then you go for other different stuff, senior, stakeholders, blah, blah, blah. So if you're a lawyer and you have experience, that's a position that you can go because that's basically the only hard requirement you see here. And you're going to see confidence and financial reporting. Those are, I think, skills, but probably the focus will be in the experience here. But again, certification, it's a nice to have, and there's no requirement for a master. That's every time because people ask me, should I do a master in project management or should I do a PMP? And I always tell them, well, if you need to choose one or another, I always choose PMP. Why? Because in PMP you can see a lot of times as a harder requirement in positions. I cannot see a master in project management as a harder requirement in most of positions that I look around. Let's open another one, project coordinator. Here, let's see what this one has. Project coordinator in London. Then talking about ownership, what you're going to do, finance management, contract management, operations, blah, blah, blah. Candidate specification. So that's where you're looking for. This is called the job requirements, the requirements for the position that you need to fulfill to be hired. Minimum 1 year experience in a similar role. Okay, then it requires some experience handling clients. Then it requires you experience handling clients. Here, I've seen people that say I do not work as a project manager, but for example, I was in a sales position. Well, if you're on your sales position, you have plenty of experience handling customers. Then that's what I'm saying. You can leverage your experience to go for a position like that. Critical competence, technical competence, then you get a lot of requests for excellence, but this is not really hard requirements. And the main requirement that you're going to see here is experiencing a similar role. Translating, that's again, this is you get basically in all positions that you have. Then you go again, client relationship skills. Then I would bet if you do not have 1 year experience in a position as project coordinator, but you have, I don't know, 2 or 3 years experience in a sales position, you could go for that. Because they focus a lot in demonstrate client relationship, people skills, and I think that's in communication, and that you can feel very well with sales instead of any other position. But you see, no certification, no master, and so on. And I could continue going on because if you look here, it's showing 261 results for the UK. Only, oh, not sorry, not all UK, only for London. So only project management coordinator in London, though. So it's quite a lot. But what kind of requirements you would see in a more mature position? Let's take a look on that also. Uh, Here I'm looking for, let's go that for also London. London, senior project manager in London. Then you see PMO lead. Let me open the position here to make it easier to go through that. Head of PMO, key accountabilities, skills and experience. Proven experience as a PMO manager, a PMO lead. So you need to have an experience already as a PMO manager, a PMO lead. But you see, even in a position like that, the hard requirements, yeah, they do not require minimum years. I cannot see practical experience. Oh, they are looking basically for experience. So if you have experience with project management, yeah, you could go for that. Why not? Because you do not see a lot of hard requirements here. Let me see if we can find a position with more hard requirements, because then it's easier to have this discussion, to point it out what I mean. Responsibilities, qualifications, and attributes. Does not look, that has a lot of hard requirements also. Senior project manager industrial. Let me see. Let's hope that I'm a bit luckier in this job description here. And by the way, why I'm doing that? Just to show you that I'm not inventing stuff. I'm just opening, researching stuff together with you and showing here. Here, previous experience working similar project manager, employee agents, blah blah blah. Experience. Yeah, but there's also those positions that basically any type of project management can complete that. Construction contract knowledge, okay. That you also see why it's a lot of times it's hard for the companies to hire project managers, because even the companies, they do not know what they want. And of course, if you do not know what you want, that gets much more difficult to find someone that you think is suitable for you. That's why it's good to set some requirements. Oh, here you have some requirements. Preferred qualifications, meaning that should not be a blocking point also, but if you have those two combined, that increase the chance. Then here you see 10 years experience program project management support large scale infrastructure projects. That's a hard requirement that you can expect to have there. BS in computer science or relevant technical discipline. Here you might not have like a BS in computer science, but if you have, for example, electrical engineer, but you have been working with computer or with IT for a long time, that's for sure you could make it. But see, like, and this is like, then you are looking for a technical infrastructure program project manager. Then you start to see the hard requirements. Senior project manager. Let me try this one. Otherwise, I'm going to change the country also to show you some requirements in certification. Years, at least 3 years experience, project management, also degree educated, science discipline. Yeah, that's not very specific. So you can see that a lot of those positions are open. That means that's difficult for you sometimes to highlight yourself, but it's also difficult to company to find the right people, because they do not know how to settle requirements. And it's not a problem only for companies. Let me change this here. Let me put back to the Netherlands. Then I think I can find it. More requirements there. Netherlands. Then let me find something that's not in Dutch, because then it also does not help us. Hmm, let me see. Yeah, this is English. Let's open that one so we can read through that. Mid-level senior. Then you have more, a bit more what type of team that you are leading. But here's a position what I mean that you have better requirements. Why? Because it makes easier to find the profile. Because if you have a position that's no requirement, basically anyone can apply for that. Then that means that you get, maybe, depending on the company, they can get hundreds of CV and they cannot make sense of much. Then there's a very high chance they are going to take a good CV, they are going to throw in a pile and do not take a look on that because there's too much information. That's always good to filter a bit what you're looking for. Then you see this one, bachelor or master degree, project management qualification like IPMA. IPMA, it's um, it's another. It's similar with the Project Management Institute. It's similar with Prince too, but it's a different organization. But in this case, if you have a IPMA certification, good. If you have a Prince certification, that also would work. If you have a PMI certification, it also would work. Looking for certifications, I always recommend uh, something from PMI. Why? Because PMI is the biggest project management organization around the world, and that's most known around all the countries. But you can see that that might change, and you can not that will change, but you can see that some organizations they talk about like other types of certification they ask are equivalent, but PMI would work in this case. Then a high technical affinity. That's difficult to say. The people can say yes or no, but here's another easy hard requirement: 5 years experience leading complex technical project. That's something that you can see. Have you worked in this type of project? Then they are going to ask what type of project that you manage, and that's something that's easier to assess because you have a clear requirement like that. And if I tell you I would like a project management with some experience, what's some? Some it's not quantifiable. Proactive, and that gets more difficult. Then every time you are looking for a position you are going to see what it's like the hard requirement, those things that's very easy to quantify and very exact. There it's like math, then you can just say yes or no. It's kind of black or white stuff. And you also see a lot of what's called the soft requirements, because for you can have even a very good hiring process, but it's very difficult to assess, like in 1 hour, 2 hour interview, if it's a person is proactive or not. Unless you have reference, then that helps. That's why I mentioned that a lot of positions they are filled based on the referrals. Why? Because then all those soft requirements that you have, it makes much easier to assess them because you have someone that already know this person, that maybe they work together and they say, this person has this, and that. Another hard requirement here, English, because in the Netherlands the official language is Dutch. Then they want someone that speaks English, makes sense. And also Dutch is preferable. That means preferable, it's a nice to have. If you have it, good. If you don't have it, it's also not a blocking point. Let's take a look. Another senior positions here. Or is it? Where is my research? I need to close some stuff because I also want to show you. And you see again when they talk about a bachelor or master degree, it can be anything. It can be a master degree in project management, but also can be a master degree in engineering or a master degree in something else. Like, does not mean that it's going to be a hard blocking point for you. Let's try this one. Senior consultant, project manager, energy. Then requirements, competence, and then you have a lot of those requirements that are difficult to assess. How we are going to assess in an interview if someone communicates well. Of course, in the interview you can have an idea how they are going to communicate, but if they are having a bad day, it's very difficult to judge someone based in 1 hour. That's the point. Then you're looking here, bachelor or master degree in technical study, meaning that if you have if you have a master in project management, that would not help you. several years of relevant working experience. Okay, then you get to the point what several years, you can see maybe more than 5, maybe more than 10, but at least you know that you need to have experience in the energy industry. Then it's a better, harder requirement here. Then another harder requirement, Dutch and English, but also not much on the top of that. Then you have to say, I need to be capable for the executive function, blah, blah, blah. That's what you get in the type of job description. And let me do just one more. Let me try this one. And of course, some of those positions I've heard of because I'm in the Netherlands. Let me look for that. What your profile. Professional project management skills, preferably certified. Here you see PMI, Prince, or IPM. As I mentioned, they are equivalent. If you have a certification, it will be a plus for you. If you don't have a certification, it's not exactly a blocking point. They want a degree in one of those here, then that's good. Much more specific. They want to have someone experienced between 5 and 10 years. That's a much better requirement. And they want to have this experience in high-end product development projects. Knowledge in design excellence, supplier can do mentality, blah blah blah. But you see, we've looked at I don't know for how many positions, and we could not find in any of the entry-level positions that a master in project management or a certification in project management was a requirement. So what you can take from that? Go look for those positions. If you want to start a career in project management, that's your chance. I'm just showing you several open positions. Go look for those positions and apply. Make sure you know how to prepare your CV so it will increase your chances to get there. So instead of keeping thinking, I'm going to study 3 months to get a certification, then I'm going to get a certification and I'm going to start look for a job, cut it off those 3 months. Start to look for a job today. That's what's going to help you. And again, and if you're thinking, no, I'm going to have a master's, I don't know, 1 year, 1.5 years, and like you don't need it, save the money, save the time. Start to look for a job today. I'm not saying that you should not study, that you should not prepare project management. I'm just saying that you don't need to wait 1 year, 6 months, 2 years, or whatever time that you have in your mind to start to go for that. You can go for that right now. Here's the time. The time is now. There's no future. Just go for that right now. Something that you are going to see. You need to understand those requirements, because if you go for a position that has very open requirements, there's a chance there's going to be a lot of people applying for that. For myself, I like those positions that they have those requirements and even sometimes more. Why? Because it makes my life easier. Because if there's a position they want to have someone with engineering degree, with an MBA, with a PMP certification, with more than 10 years experience, and the experience in, I don't know, in product development, well, you can start to cut off a lot of people, because a lot of people, they cannot fulfill all of those things. And then, of course, makes my life easier. But again, think a bit again, in your career, it's a journey. So you are starting now. You're not going to get to this position today. Or if you try to do it without any experience, without any background, that they're very high, very likely that they're going to reject your CV. So, but to get to the point that you have 5 years experience, you need to start the entry-level position. And instead of doing, I don't know, 2 years master, then you go to start look for a position. Short your life there. Take a shortcut. Apply for the position. If you can do the master in parallel with your job, even better, because there are some masters that are in the weekends. I know that's not perfect, but that's something you can do. And by the way, I already did it. I did a post certification of 2 years just studying during the night, 2 or 3 times a week. It's possible. Then if you're already working on there, then you can study more, and you can start to look for certifications. Why? Because that will build on to you, because at some point in the future, you want to be able to go for a position like that with more requirements. Why? Because first, there's less people qualified to get for a position like that. That's why I mentioned that's great for me because I have a lot of qualifications that can make my life easier to get a position like that. But also means that a position like that has a higher salary, better payment, better conditions. In some positions, you can even take a look on that. I think in this one they're mentioning you have 40 days of holidays, which is quite good, and which is not standard, but also not uncommon in the Netherlands. I've already worked in a company that had 44 working days. So my message to you today is like really start. And I'm showing here, and we could go for several other countries. You're going to see there's thousands, I maybe even would say millions of opportunities open around the world from different levels. From a senior project manager position, you are going to see less. You are going to see more entry level positions usually. And you are going to see that in all the industries. So you don't need a certification, you don't need a master, you need to start. And here I'm showing you how to start. Next step, it's up to you. Then prepare your CV, make sure you're ready there and apply. Thanks. Let me know if you like the content, let me know if you have questions. And again, don't forget to subscribe for the project management journey. There I'm going to teach you more on project management. I'm going to give you more advice how you can progress your career there. Thank you and see you.